Salam perjalanan kepada semua YB dan kaunselor. Kali ketiga saya repeating. Okay, talking about the freedom of information, since one of the YB that touched just now. I'm Sivan from Center for Independent Journalism. Just going to update you a little bit on the FY background, especially on the Selangor state government. Initially, the campaign of freedom of information, we target both federal government and also state governments. Before March election, we sent to all the Menteri Besar of the BN and also Prime Minister then, Tun Abdul Ahmad Badawi. None of them responded. After March election, we also sent, after March election, if you remember, most of the Perak, Selangor and Penang government offices were ransacked and all the documents were destroyed and all that. Immediately, we also sent the invitation to have a discussion on the Freedom of Information Bill to Perak, Selangor and Penang State Government. At that point of time, Selangor State Government responded, the first government responded, and we also must congratulate them. Under CGG, they set up a task force on Freedom of Information Bill. So that's the first move from the Selangor State Government, must congratulate that. And the first meeting of this Freedom of Information Task Force was, I think, last January 2009. And we had a discussion headed by YB Ali Wong on the Freedom of Information Bill. But initially we had a problem because the proposal with CIJ and also CGG was on the targeting the federal government bill. Then we have a discussion and set up a team of lawyers from Bar Council, headed by Andrew and also Dipendra, to work on the enactment for the state level. The first promise was it will be tabled in the last year's March or April sitting. Then with some setbacks, and also we have to work for the state level bill. Then it delayed to July sitting, then had a problem from the state legal advisor and delayed to the November sitting. But then it also was a promise by the speaker and also Selangor state government, they're going to fine tune it and promise to table in the next sitting, which is this year, April. Last month we had a meeting with Selangor Menteri Besar. He promised that this bill will be tabled in the April sitting, the coming April sitting. And 2 days ago, received an email from the YB Ali Wong side, says we intend to table the FOI bill at the April 2010 session at the Selangor Dome. So that's this next month or this month. Okay, so it's very straightforward. And just I wanted to two things we wanted to can share. One is if Adun's aware of this bill, and is there any assurance that this will be tabled in this April sitting, and also if the enactment will table in this April sitting. I'm not really sure on the process, but if it was passed, then I think we have to congratulate again the Selangor state government for the very first state government to have freedom of information or right to information bill in Malaysian history. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's supposed to be straightforward, but we'll get any responses to that on the FY. Penang, is there anything coming up on the Freedom of Information enactment?
As far as I know, there's discussion, but there's no confirmation.
Oh, okay. So is there support for that idea on Freedom of Information?
I think in the Pakatan, this common policy, this is on the table, right? So we are supposed to follow whatever the Pakatan has common policy platform.
Okay. Anything from our Selangor Adun?
Yeah, just as what Simon has said, the FOI, we had Selangor State Government, we are strongly for it, and we are going for it. And actually, before we are the FOI to be tabled, we had really tried very hard indeed. We get some sabotage and from the federal government, even the police, the federal government side, on the declassifications of documents. Our Menteri Besar had already bravely declassified documents, of which under the end in the past it was all classified as OSA. Yeah. So all official security act, it shouldn't be declassified and open to public. Now there are documents already brought out and made public on the land issue, forest deforestation, and also some all practices which is waste of people's money. Now we had already done that, and we are going forward for that. And at the local government level, all residents are allowed to sit in for the local council full board meeting. And documents, I don't know whether the documents that we can actually you can access according to the act, the local government act. The residents can access to information, can read the minutes of the meeting, but you cannot print or bring out. So, today. Well, then we have to work on that. Then we have to work on it, so that everyone can just ask for it and read it.
I think my previous experience as an NGO like you with the local government has been quite frustrating, as you all know. Most of the documents were classified SWIFT, but we as a coalition in PJ, we demanded to see it, and finally we actually did manage to have a look at it, but we were made to copy it rather than given a hard copy. So I think having experienced the frustration, I'm definitely for the abolition of the OSA. Even now, I was quite disturbed when I saw my copy of the full board meeting minutes that I have got a Adobe mark to identify who I am in case I make a photocopy and give it to somebody like you, information. So I mean, I think this is some of the methods which I think should not take place with the new government like what we have. But I think some of the councillors who have approved that kind of method have to be taken to task. But I'm sure the general public do not know. I don't know whether it's my colleagues know, but I have an eye for small print, so I picked it up and I thought that it was very naughty. So they should tell us what that number is for, so that we know, so that we won't get arrested under the OSA. So I think it is important that we be really truly transparent, and until we do that, for instance, one of the board meetings I questioned why some of the information cannot be declassified. Of course, some of my colleagues in the Armada says, "Oh, you can't declassify." But I did the research and I found that actually I think it is the YDP or the mayor or the secretary actually can declassify documents. So these fine prints I think should be made known publicly, so that we can actually make it fully open and transparent. I think the act itself, is going to take time. I do not know whether we'll be able to get it through before the next election. But if we wanted to, we can actually exercise the prerogative of declassifying documents, which I think should be the first step that you should press for.